we're jumping into part 2 of the interview with Merrick Watts here, and we want to hear about Grapes of Mirth and An Idiot's Guide to Wine, Volume 2 that's coming up. Yep. And for us, that's how we met you. We met you seeing Volume 1 in Surrey Hills.
May last year, right?
May last year.
Yep.
And it was a great show. It was funny. We learned a lot about wine. And the other thing is you get to drink and taste wine, which adds to the enjoyment, which was super fun.
And
it's great.
Yeah, and we got inspired by it as well, I think, a bit more.
Yeah, I could see that because you guys came up to me after the show to have a chat, and I was like, it'd be interesting because people, often say they're going to do something and they don't follow it up. And you go, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I'll go, all right, I'll keep an eye on you. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see that you guys are doing what you're doing.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've written An Idiot's Guide to Wine Volume 2, so it's just 6 different wines and all new jokes, and I'm pretty happy with it. But I trial it tomorrow. I do my first secret trial tomorrow in Sydney and prepare it because I've sold a lot of tickets in Adelaide and Melbourne, like a lot, and I have not actually done the show yet, but I've got plenty of time. But I start tomorrow,
Yeah. What's the first official date and location? Have you got one locked in already?
It's in Adelaide, and I think it's like middle of March. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something. It's like 13th or something like that, I think it starts.
So is it the same type of thing, kind of like teaching people about wines again, or different varietals, or what is it?
Yeah, different varietals. So I used in An Idiot's Guide to Wine Volume 1, I used 6 types of wines. In Volume 2, I just used 6 different types of wines and tell different stories.
Yeah.
And that's it. So it's fun. And it's like, it's a comedy show.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's funny when people come to An Idiot's Guide to Wine, they have an expectation. Sometimes there's 2 different types of people. People who come for the wine.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, actually, this is quite funny.
Yes. He's
doing jokes. I didn't expect jokes. They go, that's why it's called An Idiot's Guide to Wine. Yeah. Not serious, let's do some wine drinking show. And then there's people who just come along for the comedy and they go, man, I learned heaps about wine and I didn't even like wine and now I really like wine and thanks. And you go, awesome, job done. And that's the whole point of the show, is to bring people to wine. It's to actually communicate wine to people through comedy.
Yeah.
And the food pairings is one of the things that really stood out of there. The Chardonnay and the twisties, chicken twisties really stood out. Yep. We tried to do oysters and Riesling. And apparently, we apparently got it wrong.
You probably did. I don't know how you did. There's only 3 ingredients.
Well,
with a slice of chili as well.
The problem we had was the oyster. Once it goes down your mouth, you're basically choking.
We got this
maybe just don't go so hard, mate.
We got this big fat
foreplay. Go easy.
Yeah, we got this big fat oysters.
Oh yeah, nah. Get little ones. Yeah, get little ones. Get little baby oysters. For anybody listening, what you do is you just get a shot glass, or I actually like to use a tumbler. Is really good.
Yeah.
And you just put an oyster in it, a small oyster, Coffin Bay, perfect. And then you fill up with a bit of Riesling, probably about 30 mils of Riesling, and then you put 1 slither of red chili on top, or you can use Tabasco, beautiful as well, and just pop it in there, and then you throw it in your mouth and chew it all up, and it's delicious.
Smaller, that's what we got next time.
We went for the extra large.
I can imagine the thing that you just got like something the size of your fist and just going,
we were gagging, but anyway, that's another story. That's another
You don't want to hear gagging. Gagging's it's a trigger word.
But the other thing that stood out when we watched the show, I was in the mixed gender toilets, and there was ladies in the cubicles next to me talking about how they were licking their lips about you and wishing that you weren't married. And then I looked at the photo, and I'll put this up on the video. I looked at this photo where
Idiot's Guide to Wine too. Yep.
Yeah.
Merrick is in a pool with a white t-shirt, but it's all wet, and it does look like a seductive kind of pose.
Yeah.
Is that the target that you're looking?
Oh, 100%.
Drunk middle-aged women.
100%. That's my crowd, mate. Know your audience. Divorcee town. That's what I am. Women with unsuccessful marriages. I'm your huckleberry. I'm your alternative. No, it's like, look, it's an interesting kind of thing because I'm actually fitter now than when I took that photo. I'd love to retake that photo.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing with wine too. Is there's a misconception that a lot of people, including myself, drink too much, drink all the time, and are unhealthy. Whereas it's all about balance.
Yeah.
I actually don't drink very much, and I enjoy it. And I don't drink in moderation. I drink in consideration.
Yeah.
So if I have something next, I don't drink during the week usually, or might have a little bit like on a Wednesday, but not very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely, know your crowd. I'm a DILF.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at now.
A DILF?
Yeah, DILF.
What's a DILF? That was really slow. Can we edit that out? That was
No, that is the goal.
What's a DILF?
Oh my God. It's like a MILF, but a dad.
Got it.
Yeah?
Got it. It's very obvious. But it took a while to process.
Right.
And so Idiot's Guide to Wine Volume 2 is coming out. If we were looking at the Grapes of Mirth, there's a fair few events. Are you able to explain Grapes of Mirth? What's the intent behind that?
Grapes of Mirth was to bring people to wine through comedy. That's the purpose. And so what we do is we use comedy and entertainment as a way to bring people to wine, because unfortunately, there is that thing where people go, I feel a bit intimidated around wine. You don't feel intimidated around comedy, you feel relaxed. So, it gives people an opportunity to try new wines in new wine regions and new wineries, and it's just a lot of fun. It's just like typically a Grapes of Mirth event, it might be a 2-day festival. We run 2-day festivals, but also just generally a Grapes of Mirth event is like 5 hours, sitting out in the grass, watching comedy. It'd be like 6 acts on stage. It's a powerhouse of comedy, and people just drink wine. It's really very simple.
Is this the dream job for you, though?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
it's good fun. You can do worse things.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's also super unique. Like there's no one else that does it. And that's why I was thinking about what you're doing with supporting the wine industry. You're actually taking a different approach. It's a fresher approach, bringing more people in.
Yeah.
Take away that snobbery and complexity and so forth. Just have fun, have a laugh.
That's it.
That's what I love about what happened with the show.
But the funny thing is, you talk to winemakers, that's what they want people to do. Right. That's how they want wine communicated. They don't want to put up barriers at all.
Yeah.
The winemakers at all levels, whether they be a really large winemaker or a really small boutique winemaker, they want people to get to their wine.
Yeah.
And smashing down the barriers is the way to do it. And comedy is a good way to do it. So we've been very, very well supported by the industry. The industry's been fantastic to us.
Yeah.
They're all really, really supportive.
Initially, when you kicked it off, there's a lot of naysayers around.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work, right?
Yeah. Well,
It was a packed house.
Look,
it's going to work.
An Idiot's Guide to Wine was a bit of a leap because it's no one in the world has done it.
Yeah,
and it is entirely unique. And I've taken it overseas, and I'll hope to tour it again overseas this year. Version 1, maybe version 2, but its language is different in every country, or not every country, but it's diverse right around the world. But wine is always the same.
Yeah.
So if you're drinking wine in any country, it's still wine. It's still the same grape. It's still the same references. It's still the same language. So it's a bit of it unlocks a few keys.
Yeah.
Or locks. The key unlocks whatever.
Yeah.
I've had half a glass of basket press. Not even half a glass. This is why I have to concentrate when I'm judging.
The truth is, wine brings us together. Like even this opportunity to speak to you.
Correct, and that's what's about. Wine is about sharing.
Yeah.
Which is why I brought the wines I did. It's about sharing them, because if you just hoard them for yourself, there's no fun in that. Yeah, it's no fun.
Trent says the same thing. You don't want to drink on your own. You want to appreciate it with other people around you. And is that, to me, like the ethos around Grapes of Mirth was bringing together wine, people, and comedy.
Yep.
And
they're our 3 pillars: comedy, wine, and people.
Yeah, and I think you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Well, we're trying.
Well done. Well done.
We're trying.
And so we thought that in this episode, we'd challenge you, because you do a lot of wine pairings with food, the oysters and so forth. We'd challenge your flavors and your palate by trying something different. Little did I know you've actually tried this before. So in front of us, what we have...
But have not tried it with wine.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
No.
So what we have in front of us, are you able to grab that, Trent?
Yeah.
is a
I'll hold it by the stem because it's spiky as...
It is a gigantic testicle.
Yeah.
A spiky testicle.
Spiky testicle.
I don't know what your testicles look like.
It's a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur knacker is what that is.
If for those looking at this on screen and probably listening, if you've never had this before, let's describe it as a big sack with spiky stuff around it, and it's brown. Testicles come to mind, but it's a fruit. It's a durian fruit, and it's actually one of my wife's favorite things to eat. Merrick, you've had this before. Trent, you've had this a couple of times.
I had it once before and I didn't like it, so I'm not looking forward to this experience.
So
why?
It's really good.
It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
It's really good because to me,
it smells great.
It's actually like ice cream. It's got a very creamy texture to it. That's very
to me
appealing.
To me it just smells and like the instant connection to Asia. It's an Asian fruit, obviously. It's quite pungent, but you get this weird, it glances between two, and this is why it's great for wine. You've done well because it glances between really abhorrent smells like rotting vegetables and awful stuff, and this quite sweet aroma, and then it goes into like it can smell like sour onion. Sour onion.
Yeah.
That's really common with durian, but in Singapore you can't take it on public transport.
Yeah. And you mentioned before the different gradings on the durian as well.
And some people don't like it. I haven't. I had it in Singapore last year with my friend Lizzie, and we both love it. But it's a very particular flavour and a particular fruit, no doubt.
So for those watching and listening, it's quite a creamy texture, but we've been talking about it. It's the scent. We went to a recent birthday celebration, and someone brought a durian cake. And we were in a pub just having fun, right? Open up the cake. The tables next to us just gave us the biggest death stare.
Yeah, man, because it stinks of bad cheese.
That's the problem. And then they moved away.
Cheese and onion. It's like cheese and onion dip that's gone really off.
So it tastes good, but the smell you got to get used to.
Well, here's the thing. There's a great parallel to the wine that we had earlier, which is the 2000 basket press. Yeah. Is it smelt really leathery and kind of like almost like a horse saddle. Yeah, and kind of a little bit. It's almost a bit not quite right. Yeah. But then you taste it, it's fruit filled. And I love wines that smell one way and then taste another.
Yes.
The surprise.
Durian does that.
Yeah, and that's what durian is, It smells one way, which is awful. Tastes another way, which is
but
good.
It tastes great.
Yep.
Now my wife likes it frozen, so it's effectively like an ice block, right? You're chomping on some ice block. It's fantastic. Maybe that hides the scent, but this is nearly there.
So when I did the research on it, because I only tasted it once in my life and I didn't like it, it's a combination of sweet and savoury taste, and it's a mix of custard and onions.
Yes. Custard and onions. Yeah. As I say, it's kind of...
Yes, and onions, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like now that I've opened it up a little bit, I just got a whiff of it and I went, that smells awful. But then again, then all of a sudden you just get this smells and it's like quite sweet and aromatic.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But I've never done custard and onions before in the same cooking though.
Yeah, but I mean, have a look at the fruit. So on the outside, it says death. It's like spiky and very unapproachable. But inside, it's a really, really soft core.
And my nephew says, if you want to smell fart, have durian. And that's, if anyone wants to know that, that's what this is like.
Yeah, it's not,
So we thought this would be a good challenge. Have this and let us know if the wines that we chose match with it. And Trent, you chose a few wines to see if it would work.
So I chose a bit of sweet with sweet, and the two that I picked today was the King Valley 2022 Lambrusco Salamino. So I haven't had a Lambrusco before. Hopefully the sweet will go with the sweet. And we also have the 2022 Sparkling Chenin Blanc from Voyager Estate. So a white and a red. I think Merrick said that the Chenin would go well. We were thinking about the Riesling or...
Yeah. Sometimes Chenin, and I've heard very acclaimed wine writers refer to Chenin Blanc as baby spew.
Baby spew, okay.
It does. Chenin can sometimes throw this kind of custardy, lactic kind of slightly off part of it. And for some people, that can really turn them off. and some people don't like Chenin. I think it's great. I really like Chenin Blanc, and I'm beginning to like it more and more. And obviously in France and the Loire Valley, you can find some stunning examples of Chenin, which are very famous. We know that. But I think this one that you've got, the Voyager Estate, I've had this before. This is a beautiful wine. I really like this wine. So I think, I don't know how it's going to go with this custard onion that we're about to eat.
So what goes through your mind when you're trying to match food with wine? Is there like an analytical process that you go through?
Yeah, so I think about acid is a really important part of it straight away, the levels of acid in it, and whether or not that's complementary or contradictory, and both can work. Yeah. So you've got something like an oyster, which I would match with Riesling. Riesling's really, really high acid. And fragrant and perfumed. You can have everything from waxy kind of honeycomb elements to it, or you can have jasmine flower. Yeah. But then you've got like slippery, salty, and very creamy oyster. So it's like, that's why I think it's a really good match. So they're complementary, but not actually in the same house. Whereas Chenin Blanc and something like this, custard. It's the custard's the creaminess, and that's what I thought. But I think you've done really well, because the effervescence in the Chenin will lift it a little bit and make it a little bit more playful on the palate.
Okay.
I hope this could be a massive. I'd get a bucket just in case. Ready. Just in case. I talk the big talk, but then I just go. Rah!
You mentioned baby spew, so it feels like you're matching baby spew with baby spew.
Yeah,
right?
Correct.
So I think
it can be custody.
Yeah,
Chenin.
Let's try the Chenin first, and I haven't had a sparkling Chenin before, so. It's kind of that. It is that creamy, but citrus mixed together. The citrus isn't too strong.
It does coat the palate a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah. You get that? It's like,
on the nose, I get what you mean by baby spew.
I'm ruining wine experiences here.
It's not carrots, right? You're not getting that. Okay.
No.
I was only joking about the bucket. But it's great to see that you got the world's smallest one.
The producers brought the buckets along. And so we try
the Durian.
And actually, the finish on that, the citrus and the acidity stays with you.
I think that's delicious. That's for me, that's a beautiful wine at any time. And you got to remember, like, too, in France, a sparkling Chenin is like really quite common. Like that's an alternative to champagne. It's a different grape of, and they can make it in the same way.
That's an awesome palate cleanser, right? Just kind of freshens it up.
Yeah, and so it's ready for the the fart.
I'm sorry, but it has actually made the Durian look really bad.
So let's give the Durian a crack. What is it? Creamy, oniony.
Yeah.
Right?
So the one we went for is called the Musang King. It's going to be the better version of the Durian.
Oh. It is a bit like ice cream. It's a bit creamy. It's got that nice texture.
Strong. It's like a strong blue cheese. Something.
But is the taste worse than what the smell knows? I think the taste is better. Great. Yeah. Merrick's like, nah, this is gross.
You know what? Durian's great because, like wine, it can have journey, right? What I love about wine, no doubt what a lot of people love about wine, whether it be novice or professional, is when a wine starts one way and then it changes and you go, oh, now I'm getting, and now I'm getting, and now I'm getting, and then it finishes. We're talking about the Cabernet before it, like it can start one way and end away, and that's a hallmark for a really great complex wine is that it starts with one thing and it might be red fruit and blue fruit, and then I'm getting this and now I'm getting something else, and it moves through. Same with Durian. Yeah. It starts stinky and disgusting.
Yeah.
And then it goes kind of nice and custody and sweet. And you go, oh, actually, this is not so bad. And then the onion comes back and you go, no, this is bad. This is a bad choice. This is a horrible life choice. And then the palate at the end, the finish, the length is actually sweet.
Has really good length.
And then onion again.
I never thought onion. I talked to my wife about this a lot. She's never described it as onion. It's only now that you've said, I'm like, yeah, there's onion there. It's a brown onion.
But it's raw onion though.
Yeah, exactly that.
Raw onion. But like also too, a tired onion as well, like an onion that's had better days.
It's soggy.
It's not the fresh one you just got from Woolies. It's like an onion that you've just gone, that's been sitting around for a while, but you know what? It's only Jason. We'll just cook it. We'll just give it to you.
I'll just buy it. It's all right. So let's give it a go. Okay, so you've had it. Let me try it.
I like the Chenin Blanc because it cleans up palate from the onion smell.
That is. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to have a little bit, and then I'm going to go straight back to the Chenin. Yep. Yep, disgusting,
Yeah.
but in a way that I really like. Quite like durian.
But it's contrasting flavors.
Chenin cleans it up.
Yeah, yeah. But
Bubbles.
Mm.
That's a good match.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Can I ask you,
Mm.
Trent, did you, after eating the durian, and then you taste the Chenin, is the Chenin still as good as it was before you tasted the durian? Because after tasting something so awful, is it better?
I felt it was better before I had it. So before I had the durian, but it's a hard one. It's a hard one.
Do you want the good news?
What?
In about 4 hours' time, you will still taste that durian.
It'll just come through.
Yeah. And like in 4 hours' time, you're going to go, oh, I remember when Merrick said 4 hours later, I'm still tasting the durian. It's now 6.
yeah, that's exactly the time that
That's
you're
good.
emceeing at a wedding.
It makes me want to drink the Chenin more to try and keep on.
Honestly, I'd drink petrol
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
anything tastes good after durian.
So can we do the Wind Up podcast? We do out of 10 Corkscrew rating on the pairing, right? And I like out of 10. How good is that together? The combination. It's not you were talking about. Does it lift the Chenin or not? Merrick, what's your thoughts out of 10?
I'm going to give it 8.5 corkscrews out of 10. I reckon it's pretty close.
Do you think it lifts
I really
the
do.
durian?
Yeah, I do. I actually think that it does a lot because it's got the bubbles in it. Just a straight a table Chenin would be, I think, not as lifted.
Yeah.
And you'd get more of the custard, whereas this the vibrancy kind of picks it up and makes it a bit more playful. And maybe because it's there is bubbles in it, you kind of get a little bit more through the nose as well.
Yeah, it's a bit like a spider, right? With the kind of creaminess of the ice cream with a bit of the fizz as well.
Yeah. That's a very good description.
A spider as in ice cream on
drink.
top of a
Yeah,
Coke.
spider.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
8.5. That's probably the highest pairing we've ever had.
I felt generous when I said it.
He's pairing
It's probably a
He's
solid
pairing it
7. It's a solid 7, but a good 8.5.
Yeah.
Trent?
Oh, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think I needed that kind of palate cleanse to kind of go through. It's good.
It's really weird that it works. I'd agree. It's an 8 out of 10. So remember, we only go by fulls. So 8.5, 8. It's very similar.
Well, that's your rules, it's not mine. I view the scoring system for wine the same way I view the drug ecstasy. It's okay to have a half.
Or quarter.
I don't know. I'm not encouraging the use of the drug ecstasy
That's about
or any drug. Okay.
Okay, next one.
So the next one, Trent, you want to talk through this
A
one?
Lambrusco. Have you had a Lambrusco before?
Yeah.
This one?
Yes, I have actually, but not for a while. I don't think. I don't know actually. It's Pizzini, from King
Pizzini.
Valley.
Yeah.
So I can't even remember. I know that I've had it, but I just can't remember when it was. It could have been 2 years ago. It could have been 20. I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, so I thought we opted for a red one. So for the Lambrusco Salamino from King Valley. So is it northeast Melbourne, is it?
Yeah, it's up in the mountains.
Yeah.
It's at the base of the mountains.
Yeah. They do a lot of Italian varietals, lots of sparkling.
Yeah, great winemakers up there. Really, really good.
Yeah, so this one says not too sweet, not too dry, open ferment, hand-picked, traditional bottle ferment as well, hence the bubbles, with a bit of residual sugar as well, 12.5 grams.
That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, pretty reasonable. So again, the sweet, and the bubbles as well to finish.
Oh, it's got a really nice light red fruit smell.
But it's not
Very inviting.
It's more of a subtle one, more, I don't know, a earthy type of red fruit.
I get like eaten mess.
Right.
Sweet, but with red fruits, red cherries, red berries on the nose.
Strawberries.
Yeah, eaten mess.
Eaten mess.
And I do get a bit of stemminess to it. I don't know.
There is that earthiness at the base though. It's very, very delicate. But the first kind of thing is that very, very high red fruit spectrum.
So do you think red fruits and onions work together? That's the red fruits and onions. What recipe have we done with that? Not many.
Not many.
Oh, I reckon you've done well here.
You done well, you see?
Oh,
Without knowing,
so
without
he's tasted
tasting.
without. All right. Have
I
you
was
tasted it
worried about
before?
that.
Let's go. Let's try the durian again.
Yeah. Okay. I'll taste it against the durian, but my first instinct is that you've probably done, because it's very, very, very light on tannin.
Ice cream and strawberries
lifted.
is what I'm imagining. All right, let's give it a
Did you
crack.
have it without the durian?
I have, yeah. I just had it just then.
It's very subtle and delicate, though.
Elegant.
Elegant.
Yeah.
The sweetness, even though you said it's 12.5, it's quite
Very gentle,
gentle.
mousse as well. Like the bubbles are very, very
Yeah.
light effervescence.
Each time you have the durian,
Going back to
does it make you go, is it getting better or it's just the same? It's
I will
so-
say this: durian makes you appreciate wine more, doesn't it? Because you know why? It's not durian.
That's right.
Oh.
So that's that. Bit of onion cream, good.
Oh.
Actually works quite well.
It's all right.
It's a bit more kind of eat and messy type of.
Yeah.
With the kind of berries
Because
and
there's
the,
the berries
custody.
and the sweetness in that,
Mm.
like that, and there's like that kind of like that confected, sugary
Yeah.
kind of, you know, like a what do you call it?
Fair floss.
No, you know, meringue.
Yep.
It's like a meringue there.
Yeah. No, it's really good. It's like a
Wine's great.
it's like a berry Danish shop, I think, with a bit of ice
So
cream.
easy to drink.
Mm.
Very smashable.
Mm.
With the durian,
You've had a fair few durians, so this isn't high up there on your list then.
This is a good durian, though.
it's not bad.
This, from our area, this is probably the one to go to. It's Malaysian, right? It's yeah.
Almost all durian, I think, is Malaysian. Like in Singapore, it all comes from Malaysia, obviously. I think there's like seriously just like a heap of durian farms just off the island of Singapore in Malaysia, so they can just transport them
Yeah.
in. But also, too, you know, Malaysia obviously massive. Massive.
So if we're going to compare the pairings then, between this one and this one, which
Okay.
one would you go for?
Definitely the Chenin.
The Chenin, yeah.
Yeah, it's got only because it's white and it makes more sense, and it's a little bit more structured in the sense that it's got a little bit of the Lambrusco's quite playful and very fun and kind of, like we said, like a dessert kind of, you know, vibe, and it's really, really nice. And I think the durian is so powerful.
It needs this one.
Yeah, the structure and the elements of the Chenin Blanc is better for me.
Yeah.
I just think, you know, it just kind of stops it getting a bit messy.
Yep.
Whereas with the Lambrusco and the Durian, it kind of gets a little bit kind of all over the shop. You kind of go, whereas I think the
Agree.
Chenin's able to put a couple of rails around the Durian.
Out of 10 for the Corkscrew rating, so you gave 8.5 for the Chenin.
Yep. I only do it in halves. I'm going to give it a powerful 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't select it, but like if I was going to be serving durian and somebody said to me, what wine would you consider doing? I would definitely say that Chenin.
Yeah.
I would definitely do that.
How would you think it would go with a sweeter wine? Would it work better?
Like a Riesling or something?
Yeah,
like
Riesling, yeah.
Like a
We're toying with that idea before though, right?
yeah. I think it'd still work.
It would still work, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the maybe if it was too acidic, the acid might throw out that creaminess. So I would still go with a Chenin over a Riesling. I think it could work with some like the Moselle Rieslings.
Yeah.
Like a Spatlays or something like that, but not a Cabernet.
Yeah.
Cabernet would be probably too dry.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Out of 10, the wind-up Corkscrew rating.
7 out of 10 for that one because I gave 8 out of 10 for that one. So, yeah, I think it needs to really refresh the palate a lot more. Yeah. And I felt that the Chenin really, really did that a lot better and kind of lifted it to that kind of eat and mess, kind of like pavlova type of style.
Yeah.
And then that kind of citrus and acidity kind of come through.
That's what I'm saying about, it means to pavlova. That's the meringue, isn't it?
Yeah.
On its own as a Lambrusco, because this is the first Lambrusco we've ever had. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought
expecting a lot sweeter.
Sweeter,
right?
that's what I was thinking.
I was actually I kind of expected it to be similar to what it is because I've had it before, but I had an Italian Lambrusco about a week or two ago with a friend of mine who likes wine, and I'm not going to lie, we actually poured it out.
Oh.
It was not fun. it was really stinky and bready, and it was more of an edgy style of Lambrusco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I say pour it out, we just didn't drink it.
Mm.
I was like, no, it was not great.
Yeah.
And I love this style.
It's quite perfumed, isn't it?
It's fun.
Yeah.
You don't want to. It's not overly alcoholic. It's like kind of the same levels as you find in a lot of white wine.
12.5. Yeah.
Was it
12.5?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
This is the I think it's the second wine we've had from Pizzini. Pizzini are doing good stuff.
Yeah.
I think we had a rosé from
Yeah.
Pizzini last time. It was delicious.
yeah, make good wines. And there's in that region you've got Del Zotto, make very good wine again. Another Italian family in the King Valley region, and they make great wines. Riesling up there is great, and they also do Nebbiolos. They're really good up there now.
Yeah.
It's like that some of those Italian varietals that you find, obviously, and Prosecco.
Yeah.
Idiot's Guide to Wine needs to do a King Valley visit. That's
They're doing Sangiovese. Like, can you elaborate? No.
Oh, I can't tell you. I can't tell you what's in the next 6, but it might be some wines that you'd like to see.
Yeah. Awesome.
So yeah, that's good. They're good pairings. You've done well.
Yeah. When are the shows coming out though?
Okay, so I'm doing an Idiot's Guide to Wine Volume 2 in March, middle March in Adelaide.
Yeah.
By the time this gets aired, some shows might be sold out, but just a humble brag, whatever. Plenty of sessions still available, and we'll throw on more shows if needed.
Yeah.
And then the Melbourne International Comedy Festival doing the Arts Centre, which is a great place. I'm looking forward to that. And then that will tour around the rest of the country. And simultaneously, I'll be touring An Idiot's Guide to Wine, Volume 1 in some regions that haven't had it yet.
What about in Sydney?
Yeah.
I'll be doing, I don't know when I'm doing Sydney. I think probably middle of the year I'll do Idiot's Guide to Wine 2.
June, July type of.
Yeah, I think so. Probably in winter.
Wow.
So, because I've toured it in Sydney twice or maybe 3 times. I think I've done it in Sydney.
Yeah.
3. So, and we tend to do it in the middle of the year, just the way that the seasons run and the festivals run.
How receptive have the audience been on it? Have you seen it kind of grow?
People really like it.
Yeah.
I think it's because, for the ticket price, it's really good value. You get 6 wines.
Yeah.
So people like it.
Yeah.
But it's a combination of things. It's comedy, but it is also wine. So if you like wine, you get comedy. If you like comedy, you get wine, and people learn it. But it's strangely like it's not. There's been some real surprises for us. We took it to Darwin last year. Darwin sold out months in advance, and we couldn't add any more shows. It was just that was it. It was cooked, absolutely solid, done. That's it. One of the fastest selling shows. And it was just Darwin. Bang. I was like, when we said we're going to Darwin, I went, we're going to sell 11 tickets. Yeah. And somebody's going to stab me. Yeah. I'm getting stabbed for sure. There's no way I'll either get eaten by a reptile or stabbed or both. And that's a horrible thing to say about Darwin. There is a lot of culture in Darwin. There's a really genuinely a lot of culture there.
Yes.
But it's just like you associate Darwin with beer drinking because of the heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what people really want to do is try wine.
Yeah.
And so it was we were really stunned by how quickly it sold out and how much uptake there was for it in Darwin. And, similar to other places in northern Queensland and other places where we tour the shows, it's not, necessarily an association with strong wine towns or cities that do well. So,
but they have interests. That's the key thing.
And that's it. People, and I think just generally Australians, we're not just drinking beer like we used to, just beer and bourbon. We are Australia is a very, very diverse country in the way we look at alcohol consumption. We do actually drink all of the stuff.
Do you see a shift there in terms of drinking styles?
I think one of the big drinking styles is drink less, drink better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I encourage that entirely. You don't need the volume. Yeah. What you need is the quality. Yeah. And we live in a country where we are fortunate enough to have some of the best quality wines in the world at a fraction of the price that we need to pay for imported wines. I say it all the time. I know that and I do occasionally have wines from overseas and I enjoy them, but I don't drink a lot of foreign wine.
Yeah.
We make great wine here. Our wine here is stunning.
And Grapes of Mirth and the volume 1, certainly of what we listened to, was more about harking about the Australian wines that are coming through, to support that. Yeah. Is there one kind of no one talks about that you think is a secret you're holding on to, though you think people need to be having more of this wine or this winery?
Probably that Grenache. Like I said, I think Grenache from McLaren Vale and Blewett Springs.
The word's kind of gone out already, though, right?
Yeah. But also, too, I reckon we're going to see some, just generally, I would say Italian varietals, Nero d'Avola, Sciacarella, which is a wine that you find in the Mediterranean that is used, I'm thinking more expressly of the Kerner boys in Clare Valley make wines with it. They make a Momolo and they use it in blending and it's beautiful. And, some of the Sicilian varieties and Italian, I think Mediterranean is where we're going. Look at the climate. Look where we are.
Climate.
Yep. So I think, I'm not saying that we're going to stop making Chardonnay or Cabernet because I think we make awesome varietals of that. But I think what we're going to see is a slow kind of integration of more of those Mediterranean varietals.
We saw that Soma in Yarra Valley where they're starting to do a lot more Nebbiolos.
Yes, Neb.
And then also saw with Fighting Gully doing more Sangiovese as well. Yeah. So you see those kind of Italian varietals kind of coming through.
Yeah, and look, we've had Sangiovese in the country for a very long time. Like I mentioned, Coriol, I think was the first. I think they were the first vineyard to plant and produce Sangiovese en masse.
Yeah,
and we can do it.
Yeah,
we can do it.
Different expression though of it.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's a different expression, and in my opinion, it's as good, but it's just different.
Yeah. No,
different good.
And as we've been talking, that onion smell has intensified. And I kind of feel like...
Mate, seriously, tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're just going to go, why did we agree to do durian?
Yeah.
You will wake up and you will taste it and just go, oh my God, did I drink too much last night? It won't be wine, it will be the durian.
Yeah. You know the point where you do that burp and then you go, hang on.
I tasted that yesterday.
Yeah. An effervescent Chenin was probably not the best choice.
Yeah. But that's probably an opportunity for us to wind it up.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
pretty good.
Like
that's good. Yeah.
It's on my T-shirt. We should.
Merrick, we are super grateful for you taking your time out on today and just spending time and having a chat with us. On top of that, throwing on so many different wines for us to try of this caliber.
Yeah. They're for you to keep. You keep those wines. They're for you to drink with lamb and
Thank you.
For your meals. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're super grateful. We met you. The thing that stood out for us was we met you at the Idiot's Guide to Wine, Volume 1. And you spent the time to chat to every single person that was queuing up to see you. And you weren't rushing us. You're like, we had some the wind-up thing at the time. What are you guys about? And you wanted to listen about it. And then to support us all the way from the Instagram, like even a thumbs up or a comment, and then coming on this show is fantastic for everything that you do. And so we just wanted to say thank you so much for making the time here. There's something about you where I think you said...
I am going to invoice you. You do know that.
Oh, okay. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change this statement.
Let's make it awkward.
Have some more durian. But there's something about you where you've made this comment multiple times on your interviews where it's like when you say something, you'll do it. Mm-hmm. And you're all about the people. And this has shown that. So we're super grateful. Thank you so much for coming on board.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me and indulging me and sharing. Like I said, I like as much as I like to share the wines, I love to share the experience. So thank you.
Trent, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, just again.
Can I hug Trent?
Let's hug. No, echo the same thoughts. Thank you so much. It's just been a privilege to kind of know from that point in last May when we actually saw you in the show and now to kind of go on that wine journey and hopefully you've seen us grow as well and seen you grow as well. And just been a very special experience and will definitely be implanted in our
you'll
brains
grow
and memories forever.
Grow, and then you'll be better than me and then I'll be regretful that I ever encouraged you.
Grapes of wine.
I'll try to wide ant you then. I'll just try to...
Well, look, for us, this is an experience we're not going to forget. I'm about to talk to my kids about what's happened right now.
Well, I mean, they're just there. So they just want, what they want to do? They want to come out of the bathroom where they've been locked in there for 2 hours just going, who's that guy in the house who's trying to wear his shoes indoors?
So look, a couple of things we picked up. Durian and wine, it works. Durian, everyone have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells like onions. Doesn't matter. You can make some wine and you can have some wine and it can work. Yeah, exactly. Other things that we know, it's a very funny show at the Idiot's Guide to Wine. Yep. Go check it out. Volume 2 is coming out. And then the third thing is, Merrick is a legend. Thank you for spending time with us. Yeah. We'll really appreciate that. And so as we say here at the Wind Up, drink more, try more, learn more. Thanks everyone.